It's the night before Victoria's wedding. Barney's making his move. And Lily, sweet kindergarten teacher Lily, steps in with a threat so specific, so visceral, that it stops him cold. 25 seconds. That's all it takes. But this isn't just a protective best friend moment. This scene crystallizes everything the show understands about boundaries, loyalty, and the gap between who people appear to be and who they actually are when it matters. The question isn't whether Lily would follow through. The question is why we absolutely believe she would.
Attractive puzzle.
Oh, hell no. Claudia is getting married tomorrow, and so help me God, if I catch you even so much as breathing the same air as her, I will take those peanuts you're trying to pass off as testicles, and I will squeeze them so hard your eyes pop out, and then I'll feed them to you like grapes.
Wait, my eyes or my testicles?
One of each.
All right. Claudia.
Alyson Hannigan makes 3 distinct acting choices in this scene that elevate it from funny to genuinely unsettling. First, the smile. She's smiling through the entire threat. Not a menacing smile, not a crazy smile. The same warm, slightly ditzy smile she uses when talking about art projects with 5-year-olds. That dissonance is what sells it. Second, the escalation in her voice. She starts almost conversational, like she's sharing a recipe, and builds to that final, like grapes, with this cheerful emphasis that makes your skin crawl. It's the vocal equivalent of a knife wrapped in a bow. Third, and this is the genius part, she never breaks eye contact with Barney, but her body language stays completely open and relaxed. No clenched fists, no aggressive posture. She's describing graphic violence while standing like she's at a cocktail party. That's what makes it terrifying. Hannigan understood that the threat works because Lily isn't pretending to be tough. She's genuinely unbothered by the idea of following through. The scariest people aren't the ones who have to psych themselves up. They're the ones who've already decided. The writing here is a perfect example of escalation through specificity. Lesser shows would have stopped at "I'll hurt you" or "stay away from her." But the writers understood that vague threats are forgettable. So they went hyper-specific. Squeeze, eyes, pop out, feed them back like grapes. Each detail makes it more absurd and more believable at the same time. That's the trick. The grape simile is what pushes it over the edge from threatening to comedic to threatening again. It's such a domestic Martha Stewart image, feeding someone grapes, applied to eyeballs. The contrast does all the work. And notice the callback structure. Lily's been established as the sweet one, the peacemaker, the one who bakes cookies and paints watercolors. This scene doesn't contradict that characterization, it deepens it. She's protective because she's nurturing. The threat works because it comes from someone who genuinely cares, not someone trying to prove how tough they are. Direction-wise, the camera stays tight on both faces. No cutaways, no reaction shots from the group. It's a 2-person standoff, and the framing treats it like a Western duel. Barney's used to being the alpha in these situations, and the shot composition shows him visibly recalibrating. His usual smirk falters. That's the tell. The scene ends on Lily's face, still smiling. She won, and she knows it. This scene matters because it establishes a rule that How I Met Your Mother follows for 9 seasons. Friendship has teeth. Most sitcoms treat the friend group as a consequence-free zone, where everyone forgives everyone and nothing really changes. HIMYM doesn't. Lily will absolutely cut you out if you cross certain lines. We see it later with her front porch test, her manipulation of Ted's relationships, her willingness to blow up her own life for art school. This threat isn't a one-off joke. It's character gospel. And it's why the show's approach to consent and boundaries feels surprisingly modern for a mid-2000s sitcom. Barney's whole shtick is boundary pushing, and the show never fully endorses it. Moments like this are the counterweight. Lily's threat is funny because it's absurd, but it's also the show saying, there are limits, and here's what happens when you ignore them. The cultural footprint of this scene is quieter than some HIMYM moments, but it's there. Fans quote it constantly. It shows up in best sitcom threats lists, and it's become shorthand for the idea that the scariest people are the ones you'd never expect. Lily Aldrin, kindergarten teacher, will feed you your own eyes like grapes. That's not just a great line. It's a perfect encapsulation of what made this show work when it worked. The people you underestimate are the ones who'll surprise you most. So yes, the most creative threat in sitcom history came from a kindergarten teacher in a cardigan. And it worked because we believed every word. Barney learned his lesson. The audience remembered the line, and Lily Aldrin cemented herself as someone you do not mess with, no matter how sweet she seems. If you've got a favorite Lily moment, or a sitcom threat that tops this one, drop it in the comments. And subscribe, because we're just getting started with How I Met Your Mother's best scenes.